Yes, I'll get it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair.
All right, Kyle.
The meeting tonight is for conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda, public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming. The first meeting of the month of June. I'm going to call to order pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In a moment of silence, please, for all those men and women who sacrificed their lives for the ability for us to stand here today and represent our community and our country. Thank you. Okay. So I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make that motion, approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need a motion to approve the May 23rd, 2022 Town Board meeting minutes from Danielle.
I'll make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second it.
I beat you to it.
Second it.
A second.
You second it, Manny? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. I need a motion to approve the May 23rd, 2022 public hearing minutes submitted by Danielle.
I'll make the motion to approve the May 23rd, 2022 public hearing minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it's so moved. So I have to ask for authorization to pay the bills in the amount of $217,719.99. I have a motion to pay the bills.
Make that motion to pay bills.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Any comments on the agenda? Anybody have any comments on our agenda? Okay. So I have no comments on the agenda. I have presentation, but before Patty comes up, I'm going to have, even though it's, I don't even see why it's not here. Oh, it's all the way down here. It's new business, but I'm going to have Joe Casero come up, and we just want to make sure we recognize Pride Month for this month, and Joe is here to represent them and ask the board for us to hang a flag in representation of Pride Month. Thanks. Just click the button.
Click the button.
Now can you hear me?
Now we can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you. The last time I spoke in this room was Moving Up Day in 1979, so.
Yeah.
I'm actually here in place of Tim Lawton, who couldn't make it because he had a work emergency. But on behalf of the LGBTQ plus community, we wanted to present the town with a flag, a pride flag, to fly on the main flagpole outside.
Yep, so just for the board, and I've talked to some of the board members already, what Tim had asked is if he could purchase a pride flag. I talked to the chief already about this, about hanging it on our flagpole this month. Actually, we're into the month already, almost 2 weeks, but I asked him to come to the meeting and present that to the board, and in your favor to allow that to happen. So I'm asking for a motion that we accept the flag for Pride Month, and then I'll have another motion after that, but first accept the motion for Pride Month.
I'll accept the motion for Pride Month. I'll make the motion for Pride Month, I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I want to read something that, before Joe sits down, that Tim kind of reads every year, but since he's not here, I want to represent his feelings and what Pride Month really means. So Tim Lawton proclaiming that a Pride Month which is incorporated into the minutes as follows. So Tim always came up and gave a speech, and we put it in our minutes. And what I'm going to be asking the board for is a resolution, a motion to accept that June is Pride Month for the town of Marlborough, and that we recognize that every year. So in June 1969, the fight for dignity and equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer LGBTQ people was ignited by Far From Here during the Stonewall riots in New York City. The now deceased long LGBTQ civil rights movement has made many strides towards civil and legal equality. These achievements are worthy of celebration of pride. Yet LGBTQ people still face discrimination in schools, the workplace, faith communities, and the larger society. Discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identify is often compounded with discrimination on the basis of race, immigration status, religion, disability, and age, among others, with tragically violent outcomes at times. These realities serve as a reminder that there is still much work to be done and ensure the safety, respect, and equality of LGBTQ people, especially for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color and transgender people. LGBT pride continues to evolve. The meaning is as diverse as the LGBT community itself. It is time of a celebration and a time for recommending to the work ahead to ensure LGBTQ individuals can live freely and authentically. LGBTQ people deserve to know their fellow citizens respect them and stand with them in the fight for equality. To honor these LGBTQ individuals who have contributed much to our local community here in Marlborough, and to honor those working for more inclusive community everywhere, I hereby ask that June it be LGBTQ Pride Month for the town of Marlborough. So I'm going to ask the board that we take Tim's words, and I ask the town board that LGBTQ Pride Month be the month of June in the town of Marlborough. So I need a motion to accept that and make that proclamation.
I make that motion to accept that. And we do the thing about the flag also?
No, it's all together.
Okay, so, and put the flag up, and Jerry's gonna take care of that, I make that motion.
I just have to see that this flagpole has a secondary flag hanging on it, because it's got an internal roll.
Yeah, so I thought about that. I was coming here tonight, but
It's just thinking about it now, and I'm not sure, so if that doesn't work, then would you let me know?
we'll talk about it after. We'll figure it out. If we have to get some extra things, we'll talk about it. But I have a second for that.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks. And Joe, thanks for coming.
Thank you very
And
much. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks to the board and the community.
Joe,
Yes.
are there any other activities going on locally as part of Pride Month?
I know that Poughkeepsie's Pride was last week. I believe Beacons is the 25th or so, whatever that Saturday is. Yeah. I can actually email you some stuff
Okay, yeah.
if you want to do that. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for filling in. Now we're going to get to our second presentation of Patty Brooks Garino Ruby Road Extension. Thanks for coming, guys, again. Actually, let me see, I think.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
So we were here last month and reviewed the proposal of the Guarino for the end of Ruby Road. Subsequent to that, we had a site meeting and proposed that the end of Ruby Road be extended under minor road specifications for an additional 50 feet, so that the driveway for the proposed Diorio lot would be able to be on a town improved section of the roadway.
Yep.
So the planning board reviewed it at their meeting last week, and they are asking us to come back to the town board and confirm that the consensus of the town board was that that was acceptable.
So I was just trying to bring up my email so I could bring up your email to give them the map. But I think you guys were well aware of what we're talking about here. We have a town road that ends, and then there's roughly about 100 and something feet about past that road that continues. And what we're asking them to do is to extend that part of the town road 50 feet up to town specs. And then from that 50 feet, now they can make their private road off of that road based on the topography of their property. Without that 50-foot extension, they would not be able to do so. So we asked them to go to the planning board, and we had the site review. Myself and Manny and Dave were there, along with the highway superintendent and deputy superintendent, and pretty much all the planning board members were there. And we all came to the understanding that this would be acceptable as long as the town accepted that their proposal was that they extend that road. So I know the planning board approved that last meeting I was at, but by our codes, they have to come to us to get approval to accept that. So I'm going to ask the town board that I get the documents started in place to accept that from the development.
I'm okay with it. I only have one question. Did you were able to get with John and get the town specs? What?
I did. I actually, and one of the planning board requirements, these are the minor road specifications that we agreed to. Mr. Giorio and Mrs. Garino, they have priced it out. You know, the question at the last month was, is it going to be something affordable? Is it worth it for a two-lot subdivision? And Mrs. Garino is here this evening to confirm the fact that they have agreed to do that, and the town planning board has requested that we put the specifications actually on the subdivision map.
Perfect. I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, so for the public to see, this is here's Ruby Road. Here was the gray area ends where the current blacktop ends, but the town actually owns up to this point here, which is approximately 100 feet or so. But what we asked them to do is extend 50 feet of town spec, and then they could take their private road and go into their development. So you could see where that 50 feet would satisfy that. John is satisfied with that from the conversations I have. Again, we just got to get our legal team involved, and we got to write up an actual document of agreement where the highway superintendent has to submit a letter to us, to the board. We have to accept that, and then we have to accept it for me to sign the documents. So I'm asking the board's approval to start that process. So I need a motion to do that.
I make a motion for Scott to start that process.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And will you be able to send some kind of memo to the planning board so that it's
Yep.
part of their record as well?
Yep.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
assistance
you.
this evening.
Thank you for your patience. Okay. So moving right along. No more presentations, so now I'm going to get right into our reports. First report is the supervisor report for June 2022. Attended our monthly recreational meeting. Councilwoman Sesha, co-chairs Arlette Perpiglia, Jenna Alonji, our recreation committee members, and Vinnie Palmarico. We finalized plans for the July summer concert series in the park. All concerts will be held on Friday, starting on July 8th. We'll be closing out the month on July 29th with fireworks after the concert. Each concert will have a different food truck vendor before and during the concert for food purchases. The Recreation Committee will be having drinks and snacks available for sale to help raise money for the fireworks for July 29th. So thank you to our Recreational Committee. Met with Dockside developer Scott Layton, Ron Cypress from Layton Properties. Attendees were Councilman Zambito, Water Superintendent Maggio, Building Code Enforcement Officer Tom Corcoran, Assessor Cindy Hilbert, and Chief Kokoza. We had a good discussion on their future plans and then wanted to be a good neighbor to the town of Marlborough. They are very excited about developing their newly purchased property in the hamlet of Marlborough. I met with Jeff Aldridge about the possibility of Young's Field being donated to the town of Marlborough. I have a follow-up meeting with that, and that's going very well. I expect that to actually happen. Met with Councilwoman Seshek, Councilman Zambito, Tom Corcoran, Jeff Aldridge, and Tom Nicholas at the town park and at Young's Field to work on design plans for lights on both the fields. And this is part of our discussion with Young's Field, because actually, obviously, we can't invest money into Young's Field that we don't own it. So it's part of the reason of that donation. Met with the town of Newburgh Supervisor Gil, I can never say his last name, I'm sorry, Pisquato, about working on a plan to clean up tires on Conway Road. And we're working with the highway superintendent and their highway gentleman to try to get that alleviated. Attended the monthly Ulster County Association of Town Supervisor and City Mayors meeting. We again discussed the county's ARPA $5 million sharing program being offered to municipalities for water and sewer projects. We did submit our application for that. I do believe we will be receiving the grant funding for that, which could be up to $500,000. And I believe we have a good shot of getting the $500,000, which will help us upgrade our Marlborough sewer plant, which is needing of a $2.1 million upgrade. So that's good news. We've received an update from Chris Kelly from the County Executive Office and the County Sales Tax Revenue Sharing with Municipality. This is the 1% sales tax that the supervisors and mayors made with the Executive Office if they went over a certain percentage of sales tax that the municipalities and mayors and supervisors would share in that excess. At this point, the County Executive Office has been holding back on that. We're very close to getting that money, and that would roughly be about $68,000 for the town of Marlborough. So it's a good chunk of money. I expect, again, that we would receive in that money. We had a presentation by Donna Ramlow from the Dispute Resolution Center, DRC, mediator service offered by the county, municipalities, and its residents. You could get this off our website, telephone number, but what they do is they offer counseling for remedies between not just municipality issues, but even, like I think I talked about this last meeting, between individuals within the county, family members, legal issues. It's very minimally, it's like $25, it's not a lot, but it's offered between Ulster, Sullivan, Dutchess counties, and it's a service that if you ever need it, they do mediation service. So if you can't come to an agreement with a neighbor and you tried everything under the sun, you could contact them and they'll do all the mediation for you. They contact the people, they talk to you, and they try to settle disputes. They have a 90% rate of getting mediation completed, so they have a very good track record. So, met with Councilman Linelli and Chief Kokoza with the PBA contract negotiation team. This was a preliminary meeting without attorneys to openly discuss ideas on starting negotiations for an extension of the PBA contract, which ends December 31st, 2023. That went pretty well. We have a follow-up meeting in July. Met with Deputy Supervisor Appler, Rosemary and Jerry Wine, Town Clerk Colleen Corcoran, Deputy Town Clerk Danielle Cherubini to discuss writing of a new policy for the Milton South Pier use. We're just about done with that. Met with Bob Pollock, Michael McCormick to discuss workforce housing with Councilman Zambito, Building Code Enforcement Officer Tom Corcoran, and Chief Kokoza. And that's for his on-site workers and living conditions and things of that nature. I met with Herb Lips from GPI Engineering, the design to discuss updates on the Highway Department redesign plan with Councilman Zambito and Building Inspector Tom Corcoran. Attended the Meet Me at Marlborough Farm Artisan Flea Market at the Cluett Shands Park. Thank you to Sheila Manisi and all her committee members for another successful event. I met with Deputy Supervisor Appler, Rosemary and Jerry Wine, with Budget Officer Christine Wilco to discuss and start the paperwork process for the Milton Waterfront Park LWRP grant. And it's a very thick document that we have to fill out for the $560,000 that they awarded us. But this will take a couple years before we actually received that money because there's a lot of paperwork involved in it. So we started that process. We actually are going to be submitting the paperwork back to them tomorrow. Had multiple meetings on the renovation project for Tomback building with the town engineer Phil Bell, Ciro Internet. Tomback renovations bids were opened on May 26. Due to low bidder turnout and budget concerns, the town board has decided to rebid the project. The rebid was advertised this past weekend in the Times Herald Record, the Poughkeepsie Journal. Bid documents are available again, and they were available on Monday, June 6th at 2 p.m. And the project walkthrough will be on June 17th at 11 a.m., and the bids will be open on June 28th at 2 p.m. The bid documents will again be available on BidNet website and will also be available through Construct Connect website. So again, we didn't accept the bids that came in. We didn't get enough bids in our minds, so we want to put it out again. It's very hard to put bids out right now with the uncertainty in the world and supply chain issues, not knowing what the cost of goods are going to be. A lot of contractors are hesitant to bid on municipal jobs right now. So we're going to try it one more time. Met with Deputy Supervisor Appler, Councilman Zambito, Rosemary Wine, Courtney Bonifante at Sands Avenue Park to discuss the possibility of having community gardening at Sands Avenue Park again. Attended the Memorial Day Parade held this year in the Hamlin and Milton. It finished up at the Cluett Chance Memorial Park. Thank you to Tom Schroeder and all the members of the Marlborough, Vibey, Sutton Post 124 American Legion who hosted the event. Had a Zoom meeting with John Beham and Jason Pitigaro for Beham Design to discuss the Milton train station walkway steps and completion date. Beham Design will take care of any costs associated with the change order to Consorti Brothers on the step updates, and I gave the contractor until June 30th to complete the project. So just an update. I know the board kind of knows this, but the original steps were put in per the engineer design of 10 inches only. Code is 11 inches. So the engineer had put the wrong specs into his plans. So the contractor didn't do anything wrong. He built it to spec. So that's why Beham and Jason are going to be covering those costs for the redesign. I gave them to June 30th to complete because this project was supposed to be completed by the end of last year. We gave them some time because of COVID and supply chain issues and all those things, but at this point, if they're not done by June 30th, I'm going to ask the board that we take legal action to null and void this contract and whatever we have to do to go forward. But they have 3 sets of stairs in as of today. It's going to be very tight if they complete this by June 30th. But stay tuned for that. Met with the school district assistant superintendent Mike Bacachis and Chief Kokoza, a representative from A+ Security. We're working on a shared service agreement with the school district to install a security camera system throughout our shared building here in Milton. Video would be sent directly to the police department for viewing and monitoring. And that would be upstairs in the upstairs office hallways, school hallways, entrances, exteriors, interiors. We already have cameras down here, but we don't have them upstairs, so we're looking to do that. Met with the Highway Department building, at the Highway Department building with Herb Litz from GPI Engineering and architect Sean Grimm and Sam Dilhay to discuss concept designs for the Highway Department building. Superintendent Alonji, Deputy Superintendent Laroff, and Water Superintendent Maggio also attended and gave valuable feedback for the town engineer and architect. So if people don't know, our next project is to also fix up the Highway Department building. As you go by, you could see it's not in the greatest of shape. It's been built in 3 or 4 different stages over the years, and it's in a very major way needing of an update. So again, we're going to get our engineered plan done, because without an engineered plan and a concept plan, you can't receive grant money or even try to get grant money. They have to know how much the stuff's going to cost, and they have to know what we're going to be building. Attended the Milton Firehouse Cocktail Party and Fundraiser at Buttermilk Falls, which was an excellent event. Attended the Town of Marlborough Appreciation Day Barbecue with about 50 of our town employees to celebrate all the great work they do. And we had a great day down at the town. It was great. So the following day, we met with Senator Skoufis to show him the progress being made at Tomback to date, which is not possible due in part to his generous member grant that he gave the town of Marlborough of $375,000. I also gave him a tour of the Highway Department building to ask for help with our next renovation project at our 1650 Route 9W building. There's a second reason I had him down here, really, to try to get more money out of him. So, unfortunately, he's not going to be our senator after this year. I don't know if people know that, but through redistricting, he won't be our senator. He said he will help in any way possible. Probably Michelle Hinchy, more than likely, will probably be our senator, so she will be coming down this year also, and we'll be touring her there also to see what she can do for us. And attendees were Deputy Supervisor Appler, Councilman Zambito, Chief Kokozis, Superintendent Alonji, Deputy Superintendent Lazaroff, Water Superintendent Maggio, Building Code Enforcement Officer Corcoran, and Tina Rosa. So, you know, you could see when I try to have these meetings with people, I try to bring everybody involved. So everybody knows what's going on and everybody gives their point of view. And so respectfully submitted, Scott Corcoran, Supervisor. Okay, next up is Building Inspector Report for the month of May, and Tommy's not here, so I'll read this. Certificate of Occupancy 5, Request for Information 14, Building Extensions 9, Fire Inspections 20, Fire Calls 1, ZBA Applications 1, Order Remedy 6, Complaints 21, Burn Permits Issued 28. Total mileage for the month, 1,688. Total gas usage, 118 gallons. That would have been a really expensive month. Additional renovations, 6, barns 2, burning 28, carport and garage 3, decks and stairs 9, demolition 2, electrical HVAC 2, generator 1, mobile home 1, multifamily 1, pool hot tub 3, roof 3, sheds 4, signs 1, single family 2, solar panels 11, tank install and removal 1. Total permits 80, total cost of building $1,621,031. Fees collected, certificates of occupancy $750, permit extensions $2,225, building permits $16,751.34, request for information $2,700, total building fees $22,426.34, fire inspections $1,750 for a total of $1,750, building fees $120, CBA applications $300, escrow $700, total fees for the month $25,296.34. Thank you, Tom. And Jerry, you're up.
Activity summary for the month of May 2022. Personal injury auto accidents 2, fatal 0, property damage 8 for a total of 10 for the month. Vehicle traffic summons is issued 94 with 3 parking violations. Total blotter entries handled 1,164 with a total of 14 arrests. 1,975 phone calls were received. No full-time dispatch overtime, 24 hours of part-time dispatch overtime. Police mileage for the month 8,371 with a fuel consumption of 1,088.592 gallons. I just want to let the board know we did receive a DWI grant for 2022 of $5,500. They are still being strict with their money, although they indicated that fines collected in 2021 through whatever they stopped collecting them for 22, and it's not January, so it's not even. But anyway, the fines are up, which means they're getting more cooperation from the courts, which means if it maintains this way, we might even be eligible for more money as the future comes. That's what I have.
Chief, 1975, that's 911 calls that
No,
you...
that's every time the station phone rings.
I'm calculating
And that's
the mileage
exclusive of
by
911 calls.
$5.
Okay.
911 handles their own calls, then dispatch us. Yeah, that's calls rung at 2181.
Okay.
But that could be can I talk to the dog warden? Can you tell me the phone number to Marlowe Pizza? To have a car accident, can you send somebody? It's all the calls we receive.
Jerry, we had 11,929 gallons of fuel.
11,000? Yeah. I fueled the entire town this month.
So there, I'm just calculating.
Where does it say that?
When we hit $5, because we don't pay $5 yet. because-
1,088 gallons.
1,000, I was going to say, that's like
1088.592.
1,088?
1,088
Say
gallons.
times 5, just so we get in. Hey, that's not bad. $5,400 for the month. Well, we're getting up there. We're getting up there.
That'd be at the pump.
Yeah. We don't pay that yet, just so you know.
It's not quite that high, but it's high.
But we're still paying high. Well, I was going to ask you, my question is, I want to get a report back where we're at with budget compared to fuel for what we
Oh.
budgeted for the year.
I can send that in an email tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know that off the top of my head right now.
Because that's the only thing I could see, going through all the numbers, I could see we're probably going to exceed our budget this year.
Same thing in the highway department.
So,
Yeah, that's not a number that's in this usage report, but I can definitely get that in the morning.
all
And I'll
right.
send you all an email.
Yeah, I'd just like to have the board
Yep.
know where we're at with that.
The only caveat I'll have is what the school has billed us for to date, which may not be our consumption to date.
I mean, it's, ballpark, right? Ballpark where we're at.
Well, I can tell you how many gallons we use to date.
Yeah, but we don't pay our
Right.
price change.
Right, so we only pay the bill when the school sends it, and that's not quarterly.
I know.
Okay. But I'll get you what I have, and then we can
I'm a little
guesstimate
concerned.
from
I'm a
there.
little concerned about it, but it is what it is. Yeah,
we
we budget we budget X amount of dollars a year based on what we were at last year, and of course, if it's 50% higher, we're going to probably be 50% off on our budget. So that's not good. So, all right, I
Thank you.
appreciate it, Jerry. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Let's get up here. Jerry's got a lot of documents in here. All right, Highway Department. Anybody want to read Highway Department? John's not here tonight. You gonna get it?
Yeah, I told him I would come. Monthly report for May 2022 Highway Department. We spent most of the month preparing for our scheduled paving projects in June. The roads that are to be paved are Church, Du Bois, Orange, Orchard, and West Street in the hamlet of Marlborough, 1/3 of Willow Tree Road and Bailey's Gap Road in Milton. That entailed replacing and adding 1,063 feet of new pipe and changing out several man-made catch basins and adding new ones for a total of 18 installed catch basins. Also in preparation, all the ditch lines were cleaned. We assisted the water department with installing 2 water taps on Orange Street. The last part of the month was dedicated to preparing the Memorial Day Parade. We replaced faded memorial signs with new ones. We spent several days mowing and picking up garbage, and then sent out our road sweeper to clean roads in both Marlborough and Milton. Several of our crew participated in the parade. Fuel usage: gas 64 gallons, diesel 1,140 gallons. Respectfully submitted, John Alonji, Highway Superintendent.
Well, he's probably 50% over his budget too, right? 1,140 gallons.
Diesel's even higher.
Diesel's more.
Still cheaper
What
than
are we gonna do? All right, Charlie, you're up next. Thank you for being here, Charlie. As always, you're always here. Good evening.
Monthly report for May, our water consumption totaled 16.314 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 494,700. Compared to last month, we had 14,841,000 gallons, which was a daily usage of 494,700,000 a day. Compared to a year ago, our water consumption, 17,057,000 for the month, which is a daily usage of 550,225. Summary for the month: curb boxes, we had to repair curb boxes on Orange Street. Hydrants, we had to repair a fire hydrant on North Road because of damage from a car. We also started mowing grass around the hydrants and applying herbicide. Billing, bills went out in the beginning of the month. Questions about the bills had to be answered. Water mains, we installed 2 1-inch taps on Orange Street with assistance from the Highway Department. Sewer, we had to flush out the main line coming into the sewer plant in Marlborough. Town Park, we repaired a petition in the boys' bathroom because of vandalism. We had to meet with the Health Department for our annual inspection on the water system, and we worked with the DEP of NYC about upgrading our meter at our pump house. Service line inspections 2, sewer line inspections 2, closings 9, markouts 60, gallons of gas 160, gallons of diesel 25, and mileage for the month 1,700.
Okay, any questions for Charlie? No?
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie, for all your help, as usual. Colleen, you're up.
Town Clerk Monthly Report for May 2022. Conservation 8 for $13.54. Dog licenses 23 for $125. Water services 2 for $1,700. Transfer station permits 1 for $75. Punch cards 24 for $1,550. Marriage licenses 10 for $175. Building fees 1 for $17,003.34. Fire fees 1 for $3,510. Camp fees 20 for $7,230. Accident reports 11 for $55. Certified copies 7 for $140. Clerk fees 2 for $44. FOIA requests 2 for $2.75. Junkyard licenses 1 for $250. Minor sales 1 for $10. Park fees 4 for $1,400. For a grand total of $33,733.63.
Any questions for Colleen? No?
No.
Thank you, Colleen. All right. So we got the water quality management from our sewer plants. June 7th, 2022, for the month of May 2022, both the Marlborough and Milton wastewater treatment plants comply with all the SPDES requirements. The following are monthly statistics of both plants. Marlborough wastewater treatment plant average daily flow equals 120,000 gallons per day, about 69% of design capacity. Average BOD removal was 96%. Average suspended solids removal was 92%. Milton wastewater treatment plant average daily flow is 28,000 gallons per day. It's about 51% of design capacity. Average BOD removal of 90% and average suspended solid removal of 93%. Both the Marlborough and Milton treatment plants operated normally during the month of May without any major changes or events. The average daily flow for both Marlborough and Milton returned to normal levels. The Highland Water Department, with the help of the Marlborough Water Department, kindly brought over their jetter trailer to Marlborough facility and cleaned out several underground pipes throughout the system. Most importantly, we were able to properly clean the pipe from the headworks to the oxidation ditch. This has significantly helped the flow of wastewater into the plant and will reduce overflows during storm events. Overall, both wastewater treatment plants are in good working order, but are getting older. If you need any additional information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you, Julian Falco, Water Quality Superintendent. And I laugh because he has that statement in there every time. It's getting older. And you'll see in our resolutions tonight, we actually are going to help Julian because we're starting to upgrade the Marlborough sewer plant. So that's the first addition to it. Sherry, you got the dog control?
Town of Marlborough Dog Control Monthly Report for May 2022. We received a total of 14 calls this month, including 4 calls to service from the New York State Police and Ulster County Sheriff. Responded to 2 active complaints and/or cases which are now closed or resolved. We currently have 1 open case or complaint. We impounded 0 dogs this month. No appearance tickets were issued this month, and there were no dog bites reported this month. We have no dangerous dog cases in progress in the Marlborough Justice Court. Please do not leave your pets outside unattended when you are not home. There is no way to protect them if you aren't there. They escape, bark, and have wild animals enter their areas. End of report.
I did not receive a report from our assessor, so we're on to the planning board. Oh, boy. Okay, planning board, May 2022. Escrow fees collected, $9,881.09. Invoices total $17,853.02. The meeting on May 2nd, 22, attendees Steve Clark, Cindy Lanzetta, Joe LaFaro, Bob Tronsolito, James Garofalo, and Steve Jennison. Agenda approval, stenographer minutes from 4/4/22 and 4/18/2011. That can't be right. 2011. It's got to be 2022. So I'm gonna. That'd be a really good memory. So yeah, that's got to say 2022. Just we'll have them fix it. Approval for the above minutes was granted unanimously. Pollock Site Plan, 39 Main Street, Milton, modification site plan. The applicant provided modified plans for the above projects, which would attach buildings 1 through 6 and reorientate buildings 7 and 8 parallel to the street line. A 10-foot stairway is proposed between building 6 and the northmost proposed building. Stormwater facilities have been modified to discharge to the Milton Turnpike and County Roadway. Ulster County DPW approval for utilities within Milton Turnpike must be received. Accessible parking spaces have been provided on Main Street. These have been moved further to the west to the Main Street Milton Turnpike intersection. The dumpster enclosures have been enlarged. Status of the town board's approval for the modifications of Main Street should be addressed. Status of the relocation of the utility poles with Central Hudson should be addressed. The board agreed to waive a new public hearing for the modification and authorized Jeff Battistoni to prepare a resolution approval for the proposed project modification. And just so everybody obviously knows on our board, but for the public, we already met with Central Hudson as a board, and we do have the utility poles are not going to be relocated, but the parking spaces are going to be indented in. So you still are going to have one clear path, but the parking now is going to be indented in, which will create a second lane down in Milton now. And the reason for that is you have to have so much distance between the electrical pole and the building, and if we move the poles in, you wouldn't meet that requirement. So in order to do that, this was the modification. Okay, Garino 5 Ashland Drive Marlborough sketch site plan that we're just here. The property line has been extended to propose a flag lot with access to the improved blacktop portion of Ruby Lane. The proposed grading within the flag pole must be checked by the applicant's representatives. The health department approval for the subsurface sanitary sewer disposal system is required. The board discussed a letter from neighboring property owner Michael Papaleo regarding boundary lines. Roadway frontage was also discussed. The applicants are seeking approval from the town board to be able to construct the proposed driveway within the unimproved portion of Ruby Road. The board also agreed to have an on-site visit to see existing proposed conditions. Du Bois Dave Jolly, 39 Main Street, Milton sketch subdivision. Roadway dedication parcels have been depicted on the plans. Roadway depictions documents must be submitted to the planning board attorney for review and approval. Mahoney Road frontage should be depicted within the 50-foot front yard setback. This leaves a very small buildable area on the lot. Planning board engineer Pat Hines recommended a note be added to the plans requiring stake out of the foundations and the plot plans submitted to the building inspector prior to construction of the foundation on the site. Health Department approval for the septic system as well as a parcel C should be provided. The 21.7 plus or minus acre parcel of the property will not require the design of a subsurface sanitary sewer disposal system. County planning referral is required, and the property is located at the municipal boundary with the town of Lloyd. The board asked applicant to add additional agricultural notes to future map subdivision. A public hearing is scheduled for June 6, 2022. Verizon Marlborough High School 50 Cross Road Marlborough preliminary site plan. Member Garofano again recused himself from the Verizon portion of the meeting. The applicant provided an update to the proposal, including modifications based upon comments received from the public hearing. School Superintendent Michael Brooks, and from HDR Representative Mike Musso. The board authorized their attorney to prepare a secret determination resolution of approval for the June 6, 2022 meeting. Next deadline was Friday, May 6, 2022. Next scheduled meeting was May 16, 2022. And at the May 16, 2022, the agenda, oh boy, that was canceled. Next scheduled meeting, Monday, June 6th. And respectfully submitted, Chris Brand, Chairman of the Town Board. Planning Board, sorry. Okay. And that's it for reports of departments. Okay, so now we have reports of committees. Recreation Committee. Sherida, you got anything else?
I don't, but your chairperson is in the audience.
Yeah, I see that she's in the audience. Arlette, do you want to come up and say anything about the concerts in the park? And your great work on getting our food vendors and...
Good thing I just carry these flyers around in my pocketbook.
You just happen to have one.
So we have 4 concerts scheduled, starting on July 8th, Hillbilly Parade, which is an alternative country concert. We will also have Pop's food truck there that evening. 7:15, we have Cold Flavor Repair, which is an 80s themed concert. 7:22 is Soul Purpose, 70s funk. And then the final night is 7:29, which will be Alpha Male Gorillas. It'll be hard rock with fireworks, and we will have Cousin's Maine Lobster Truck that evening.
Ah, my favorite. You give Mark a copy of that. Maybe you could put it in the paper for us. Thank you. Good job by the rec committee resurrecting the concerts in the park, and to Vinnie Palmerico for arranging all the bands for us, so great job. Emergency Management Preparedness Committee, we don't have anything updated on that yet. We're still working on it. Conservation Advisory Committee, I have no updates. IT Committee, the only thing we're working on, as I said, we're working with the school district on a video camera system, and we're also working right now on getting the video camera system installed down at the dog park. So those 2 camera systems hopefully will be done shortly. Milton Train Station Foundation, I don't have anything except that we asked for and did receive from the school district 120 chairs that they were disposing of that were in pretty good shape. They're kind of similar to the chairs that are out in our audience. Probably not as nice as these, but we're going to be using them at the train station now, so people don't have to bring chairs when they have parties. We have 10 tables down there now, and the remaining of those chairs are going to be used at Tomback when we renovate, so we don't have to purchase them. So,
Scott, I think they're having a quarterly meeting tomorrow night.
Oh, they're having their meeting? Okay, good.
Yeah.
You going?
Yes.
Okay, good. You can report back next time.
You got it.
Milton Land and Citizens Committee. I don't have anything. Did you get anything on this, Councilman Zambito? Anything? I don't have anything.
Did we get any what?
Any updates from the Milton Landing Citizens Committee or the Marlborough Hamlet Economic Development Committee? I haven't heard anything.
Neither, no.
The only thing I could tell you is that Vivian has put out her flowers for the year in the Hamlet of Milton.
That's the next one.
I'm getting down there. I'm just putting them all together. Hamlet and Milton Association. But she actually provided the town hall upper level with 2 big flower baskets that she displayed for us out front. In the front for the police department, she did put some flowers. And a lot of this money, pretty much all of this money for the flowers comes from their fundraising event that they had earlier in the year. So I want to thank Vivian and her committee for doing that. So Milton always does a great job. I did not receive a Meet Me in Marlborough update for this meeting, so I don't have a report. And the Transfer Station Review Committee, I don't have a report from the Review Committee, but I have been in contact with Larry at the transfer station and John Alonji, and we are going to start the removal of the tires that we're required to have removed by 2023. So that will start happening on not the night, the Sunday after Father's Day. So what is that, the 26th? They're going to start doing that on the 26th. And we're going to do 2 or 3 dumpster loads this year. And then the following year, we'll finish up. DEC gave us 2 years to do this. Public don't know, but we have tires up there probably from the 60s. And they have to be removed. So it's an expensive endeavor, so that's why we're doing it. It's not easy to get rid of tires anymore. So just to give the board an update, we will be starting that in a couple weeks. Okay, so old business, Tom Back rehabilitation update. So I kind of really gave an update within my my minutes. Again, we were out to bid again. Bid will be opening on June 28th. We're getting a little more competition this time, and then the boards are going to have to make a decision on where we go with the project. I would assume it's going to be over our budget that we originally had because of everything that went up. We do have money in our building fund that can absorb a part of that, but then we're going to have to make a decision after that. So that'll be upcoming. New business, like we said, just want to make sure everyone...
Scott,
Go ahead.
So you're saying that if the bids come over again, we're going to take some money out of our general fund to absorb it? Is that what
I'm
you
not
just
going to
said?
take anything. I'm going to ask the board to do so. Yeah,
But
that's the thing. We can use, we could transfer money from our fund balances into our building funds and utilize those funds. It has to be done by resolution, has to be done by board approval. But I will give you all the numbers on that because we also got to be careful when we do that, that we make sure we have enough monies for all the projects that we're doing. So how grants work, as you all know, is we have to pay the money out first, and then we get reimbursed for that monies later on. And sometimes that could take up to a year. So you got to make sure that even though we're getting all these grant monies, that you stagger them so you don't have, not be able to pay your bills, let's put it that way, right? So we're making sure that we're staggering them and we're planning ahead for the next one. So the next one after this, if this all goes through, would be the Milton Landing, the $560,000 grant. That would be the next one. From that one, then we'll move on to the 1650 Highway Department, and that would be the next one. So we're going to stagger them out. It takes years to get these done. That's why it's hard for an intern supervisor or board to finalize things a lot of times because it takes years to get these things completed. So we're going to try our best to do everything we can to get these done, but again, it comes down to like everything else, money, right? And making sure we have enough of it. And making sure our representatives that represent us at the county and the state level try to get us some money back to the town of Marlborough, which we've been pretty good at.
Scott, is there a duration to this grant money?
There are durations on them.
Not all.
They will give you extensions. The the Milton Hamlet one, we have 6 years, I believe, on that grant. So we have quite a bit of time. Just to give you an idea, the money we have from Tomback was $800,000 combined. The original $250,000 came from Frank Scartatos, right? Frank's been not with us now for 5 years, I want to say. So when we got that grant, probably 2 years before that. So we're around 7 years right now with that. So you have to put in a request for an extension, why you're asking for an extension, and very rarely will they not give you that extension unless it's a poor excuse. This go around, it's a pretty easy excuse with COVID and the inflationary pricing and all that stuff that goes with it. They're more apt to get. I don't think we're going to need it, but I do want to get Tom back done because again we've had some of this money on the books for up to 7 years. So and again we did receive our first check back from Frank's grant of $82,000 last week. So after 7 years we finally started receiving his goodwill back to the community. So it happens. It's persistence.
Question, Scott.
Yep.
You said we have $800,000 in grants, and how much do we have in the building fund right now?
156.
So you're at 956.
Yep.
So, in your opinion, I'm just not going to hold you to it. How much over that 956 do you feel you're comfortable?
I'm hoping none.
But I'm saying, if you had...
I'm guessing this project is anywhere from the 900,000 to 1.2 million. It's in that
So basically,
It's in that ballpark.
$200,000 is basically where you think you'll be.
Could be.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, just so you guys know, my personal feeling is I don't want to wipe out the whole building fund, right? You always want to have some money in your building fund for other things, that come up. So when we get to that number, I would be comfortable leaving a certain amount of money in there. I'll make my recommendation to the board on how much we leave in there, and then I'll make my recommendation if you so choose to take money out of our other funds. But my guess is, Ed, it's anywhere from $800 to $1.2 million for this project. We originally thought we would get it done for, the $800 to $900,000 range.
You're figuring the general contractor, the main gist of it, is going to come in somewhere around $500,000. I think we had that discussion, right? And the rest of it should add up to about $1 million. I mean, if we're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, look, what we guesstimate and what they guesstimate is two different things. I mean, you just take stuff like things are up about 30-40% in the market right now. So you take our original $800,000 original budget and you add 30%, 40%, you kind of can figure out where we're at. So I'm even underestimating what that number could be, right? So, we're going to see what happens. And then the board, us five, have to make a decision.
Okay.
Right? I personally want to get it done, but at the point of where it's reasonable, right? And we can afford it. So. And again, to new business, again, we already had our Pride Month, and thanks to Joe for representing, and everybody that came tonight. Just really, it's personal to me too, because I have family members that are also celebrating Pride Month this month, and every year since this has come out, I've had this on my list, and it was like I told Tim, he was reminding me, and I was I was laughing when he sent the note, but I wasn't, because it was the first meeting I had with Tina, my secretary, and we went over what we were going to be doing for meetings and such, and I already had this on my list back in January that June is Pride Month, and make sure I don't forget. Please make sure I don't forget. So I thank him for sending out the email and reminding us. It's always a great thing. So thank you guys for coming tonight. So correspondence. I do got a few correspondence tonight, a few resignations, unfortunately, again. Jerry just keeps racking them up.
What are you doing?
Okay, so this one is from the Lions Club, though. The Marlborough Milton Lions Club is requesting the use of the Milton train station for our July dinner meeting on July 6th from 5 to 9 p.m. We also ask that the fees be waived. Once approved, we will provide the town clerk our insurance certificate. Thanks in advance. All the best, Lion Frank Carafucci. I can never say Frank's last name. I'm not good with Italian names. I'm Corcoran. I'm Irish. I'm half Italian, though, too. But we already checked with the clerk's office, so this is available. There's no other events going on. So if the board is so choose, I need a motion to waive the fee for the Milton Lions Club at the Milton train station on July 6th.
I make the motion to waive the fees on July 6th.
Second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
On the record.
So moved. Okay, I got another one for waivers. To the Town Board of Marlborough, I am kindly asking your permission to waive the fee to use the pavilion at Cluett Shands Park for our Girl Scout end-of-year bridging ceremony and picnic. We are not for-profit organization that gives back to the community at large. We have used your facility in the past and would appreciate your consideration again. We have requested the use of the Pavilion Kitchen and Grill on Tuesday, June 14th, 2022, 5 to 8 p.m. We respectfully ask the board to grant your request. Sincerely, Jolene Gare, Troop Leader 60174. Yeah, we're cutting it close. But she knew that. I told her she had to get it in. So we already checked with the clerk's office. It is available. They have it in the book as long as you guys are good with it. I just need a motion.
I make the motion that we waive the fees for the Girl Scouts on the 14th of June.
Thank you.
I'll second the motion. Oh, I'm off, sorry. I'll second your motion, Eddie.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. On the 14th, 5 to 8, I believe. Yeah, 5 to 8 tomorrow.
We're going to be dealing with Delagy.
Yeah, they know Bocce's there. Every time we have people reserve now, we tell them bocce could be going on, so they're well aware. Just so you know, we have a very good bocce league out there, and Ed runs it. So what do we have, 20?
20 teams now.
20 teams now?
We would have more teams, but we don't have enough nights.
Yeah,
So-
I think we need more bocce courts,
We have
really.
4 teams a night from Monday to Friday.
So, all right, so now here we go with Jerry's list. This is to the Chief Kokoza from the Town of Marlborough Police. Dear Chief Kokoza, I am officially announcing my resignation and retirement from the Marlborough Police Department effective May 23rd, 2022. It was an honor and privilege to be employed as a police officer, and I have enjoyed serving the citizens of the community for the past 6 years. I wanted to thank the Town of Marlborough for giving me this opportunity and look forward to my new journey. I have made many friendships during the career and will especially cherish the times I had working with the fine men and women of the Town of Marlborough Police Department. I wish you all the best in the future and will keep you in my thoughts and prayers as you continue to wear the badge of honor while keeping the community safe. Sincerely, Officer Kathleen Burns. So I know she hasn't worked as much lately, so.
Right, she, her leave after started in January, she moved to Florida for TSA training,
Yep.
and moved up into that, and she's not coming back.
Well, she's in Florida. Why I can't blame her.
That's a long commute.
It's a long commute. But we have people stay on our books because you never know. They come back, and then it's a process getting them back on the book. So we want to make sure that they're really not coming back. So she's not really coming back. And this is kind of the same here. Chief Kokoza, I'm writing to give my formal notice that I'll be resigning my role as dispatcher effective today, June 13th, 2022. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunities I've been provided working with the Marlborough Police Department for the past couple of years. It's been a wonderful experience to work with such a great agency. Please let me know if I can be of any assistance during the transition. Thank you for all your guidance. I wish you all the best and look forward to keeping in touch. Sincerely, George Rose, Super. Georgie. So,
Georgie dispatched for a long time. She had the opportunity to go to the police academy through the Dutchess County Sheriff's Department. And they saw the gold and hired her full-time.
yeah, good for her. We train a lot of good people, and a lot of other people reap the benefits from us. But it's just just says something about your department, Chief, that a lot of people want to take our employees. But it's good for them. It's a good full-time job. And I know all you guys know this gentleman. I did a lot of negotiations with him in the PBA negotiation contracts as the part-time representative. So this is from Ronnie Perkins. On June 13, 22, to Chief Kokoza. Dear Chief Kokoza, I respectfully submit my request for retirement from the position of police officer in the police department of the Town of Marlborough, effective 23:59 hours, June 24, 2022. That's Ron. The purpose of my request is to relocate to the state of Florida and establish residency there. Florida is just killing us.
Less taxes.
As I complete a police career of 31 years and 6 months, I wish to state that it has been an honor and pleasure to serve both under your command and with the ranking officers, patrolmen, and civilians of our agency. The Marlborough Police Department has become a second home to me, as I've been privileged to share in numerous friendships and experience with department members in both on and off-duty venues. In short, my taking leave of our department and moving into retirement is truly a bittersweet event. May God bless you and keep you safe, along with all the other department members and their families. Sincerely, Ronnie H. Perkins, Jr. And Ronnie's going to be missed. He's a good cookie, a good officer, and a good friend. And I wish him well in Florida in his retirement, and hopefully everything works out. So, thank you guys. Thanks for all. Okay.
The other thing I just wanted to remind the town board, we have to move our meeting next month, the 27th.
Oh, the meeting?
Yeah, because of voting down here. So next meeting on the 27th.
So we were supposed to meet on the 27th, right? But, yeah, so just, I don't know if the public knows, but there's 2 primaries this year. So, and with those primaries, there's early voting for both of them. So it's going to affect us twice, 3 times actually. because general election too. This is another reason why we got to get Tomback finished, because all elections will move to Tomback, and it won't affect this courtroom anymore. But having said that, yes, we need to move our meeting, and we really can't move it to any other dates, right?
No, it's going to be held,
We're gonna hold it upstairs, right?
Conference room
Yeah,
upstairs.
so-
So it's on the same day, it's just a different location,
Okay.
upstairs.
So just make it known and we'll publicize it, right? We'll have it on our
We're
website,
putting it on a website, and we post it.
and you post it at the post offices and
Right.
stuff, right? So, just so the board knows, the 27th will be upstairs. Okay? Thanks, Colleen, for reminding me. Okay, this is the time of the meeting we have public comments. Anybody got public comments? Well, this is awesome. You guys are great. All right, we're going right into resolutions before you change your mind. Resolution number 57. Okay, so this is the time of the year we appoint our summer camp employees. And I want to thank Tina Rosa for all the work she did to get summer camp up and going this year. She did an unbelievable job. She got it done earlier than any other municipality in the county. We were the first ones to get her approval, so she did an awesome job. And thank you to the ladies stepping up, being our directors this year too. So all around did a great job. So Supervisor Corrigan proposes the following: be it resolved that the following employees be appointed to the 2022 summer camp. Camp Director, Melanie Onito. Assistant Directors, Gail Translito and Dawn Macario. Health Director, EMT, Maureen Paboliski. I'll tell you, that was the hardest position to fill right there.
It always is.
And without that position, you can't have a camp. So, Adult Counselors, Madison Du Bois, Linda Morales, Mary Harrington, Steve Garuti, I can't say that, Eddie. Stephen Garutz, Kaylee Maggio, Teresa Smith. Senior Counselors, Stephanie DeAndres, Ashley Consoli, Emily Eckler, Marissa Kiles, Stephen Mazza. Youth Counselors, Joseph Scarafaro, well, that's Tina's son. He's been doing this since he was a little tyke. He went to here. So Alex Gronkowski, Justin Paulo, Colin Lee, Madeline Foster, Dylan Hasberg, Sarah Casey, Caitlin Thorne, Robert Thorpe, and Colin Casey. And moves for its adoption.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa.
Yes.
Councilman Cowkey.
Yes.
Councilman Zambito.
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran.
Yes. Just so you guys know, most of these counselors went to this camp.
It's a great crew.
It's kind of cool how they progress as being in the camp, and then they move up and they actually become counselors. Like, I could just tell you, Joey, he's going to lose $5 an hour to come work at the camp because he just wants to work at the camp for that. So it's kind of cool that he wants to do that.
That's
So,
sweet.
June 13, 2022, Resolution 58, to establish standard workdays for elected and appointed officials and report them to the New York SLRS, New York State Local Retirement System. So this is what we have to do this every year, that we have to report to the state, and we have anybody that's elected officials and want to be in the retirement system, we have to give them a report of kind of like, you got to go through 3 months of what you do, and you got to report to them, and they average out the hours and things like that. That's how you get credit for your retirement. So Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following, and see attached. If we went through all this, this is what Colleen and has to sign off on and give to the state. And so there's just, and I think in this one it's just me and Steve Jennison. They're new this year. So since we're new, we got to do it. After 11 years, I finally signed up for the retirement system. So I don't know. I'll get $50 a month when I'm done, I think. But anyway, and it moves for its adoption.
Councilman Malinelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa.
Yes.
Councilman Cowkey.
Yes.
Councilman Zambito.
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran.
Yes. Okay, Resolution 59, award the contract. So this is the contract for the sewer extension I was talking about. So this is the Phase 1 extension of the Marlborough sewer plant. Overall, the sewer plant has $2.1 million in upgrades that are needed. This whole extension is going to be funded through ARPA money we got from the federal government. Hopefully money we get from the county ARPA money, and then from the two developers that are be building in our town, and that is the Bayside and the Dockside projects, will be contributing a significant amount of money to this. So this won't cost the taxpayers or the water district any additional monies. So this is the first phase, and these are the bids. So Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following: whereas the town desires to replace certain equipment at the Marlborough wastewater treatment facility that serves the hamlet of Marlborough sewer improvement area, and whereas plans and specifications for the improvement have been prepared by Briner and Laros, PC, professional engineers of Kingston, New York, and whereas the project was publicly bid and 3 bids were received on June 6, 2022, and whereas the bids were as follows: Whitcon Inc., Thompson Ridge, New York, 10985 for $280,000. TAM Enterprise, Goshen, New York, 10924 for $336,746. Aventus Construction, Amawalk, New York, 10501, $400,000. Whereas the lowest responsible bidder is Whitcon Inc. of Thompson Ridge, New York, with a low bid of $280,000, and a recommendation of award has been made by the project engineer, and I could share that with you. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the town board of the town of Marlborough award this contract to Whitcon Inc. of Thomas Ridge, New York, in the amount of $280,000, and authorize the supervisor to enter into a contract with Whitcon Inc. for this work at the Marlborough wastewater treatment facility by order of the town of Marlborough, town of Marlborough, this 13th day on June 22nd. And let me, let me just read you what Dennis wrote, because he did research this company. Okay. So, dear Supervisor Corcoran and Town Board, on Monday, June 6, 2022, 3 bids were received for the above referred contract. We have reviewed these bids and recommend that the Town Board award the contract to the low bidder, Whitcon Inc. of Thompson Ridge, New York, with a total amount of $280,000. I'm enclosing 3 copies of the notice of the award of Inc. of $280,000. Please sign and date all copies where indicated and return to my office. Upon receipt of these documents, we will notify Whitcon Inc. of the obtain their bonds and insurance and set the date of contract signing. And also encloses, you'll find a copy of bid tabulations. If you have any questions, please contact my office, Biner and Laris, and that's signed by Dennis Laris, who's our town engineer for the sewer plants. And he recommends the town board move forward with this, and Colleen moves for its adoption.
Councilman Molinelli.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sessa.
Yes.
Councilman Cowkey.
Yes.
Councilman Zandino.
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Let me find the right page here. Oh, no, I'm on the right page. Eddie, I think we're almost at your time.
I was thinking that we may want to do an executive session
You want to do an executive session
for a personnel matter.
for personnel matter? You have to make that motion.
Make a motion that we have an executive session for personnel matter.
I need a second. Nobody wants a second it, Eddie.
Okay, can't go then.
Then I guess we don't get an executive session.
I'll second that,
All
Eddie.
right, Sherida's going to second it. Okay, is there any, so for the public, Eddie, is there any going to be
There's not going to
any,
be a decision made. no.
so they don't have to sit around and
No, there's no
wait for us? Okay, so no decisions will be made. Eddie and Sherida made a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. Thank you.